Okay, this morning we will try to cover coordinate geometry, which is in single maths as well as NMaths. I have intentionally put the question in Bahasa Malaysia so that it will benefit those Malaysian students who are sitting the SPM right now. Right, so this PQRS is a parallelogram. Now, although we know an essential property and sufficient property of parallelogram is one pair of opposite sides are parallel and equal. That is sufficient. But that is not very useful for solving questions like this. If you are given 3 vertices, you want to find the last vertex, we use the fact that the diagonals bisect each other. So please remember that the diagonals bisect each other. So we look for the midpoint, coordinates of the midpoint. Of course, you should know that it's x1 plus x2 over 2, y1 plus y2 over 2. But in the exam, time is of essence. So just make sure you substitute the correct thing. Right? Make sure you substitute the correct thing and get the coordinates of M out first. Now, it is always good practice, whatever you get, in NMaths especially when you have a diagram, to write your answer there. Number one, it makes sense, because I more or less drew this to scale, although I'm not solving it that using scale drawing. So, we use the other diagonal QS again to find the midpoint. And from there, we can get h plus 4 divided by 2 should give me the coordinate, x coordinate of M. K plus 5 divided by 2 should give me the y coordinate of M. Having that, I will get h equals to minus 3, k equals to minus 2. So if the examiner does not give you h and k, you can put in yourself. Part 2. Just to revise the gradient formula, which is y2 minus y1 equals to x2 minus x1, right? So I would take this as y2, so 1 minus, 1 minus minus 2, and y2 minus y1 will be, x2 minus x1 will be 3 minus minus 3. Look at the careless mistake I made there. So if I also make careless mistake, what about you? So please be very careful. So gradient of SP is, so half. So the equation I would like you to, if you do not know this already, this is quite a useful equation to know, a formula to know, if you know a gradient and one point on the line. Right? So we put y minus y naught equals to m into x minus x naught. So we will take p as x naught y naught because it passes to p. Try to avoid dealing with negative sign. So y minus 1 will be the gradient half x minus 3, and this half x minus 3 over 2, the minus 1 take over become plus 1. Now, if the question does not say put in any particular form, just leave it there. Don't risk getting careless mistakes. Part 3, I intentionally apply the matrix to a 4-sided figure. So area of PQRS will be half. Try to take the coordinates in counterclockwise so that the number inside the modulus will be positive. So I have got 3, 1 followed by 4, 5 followed by negative 2, 2 followed by negative 3, negative 2, and then end with 3, 1. So if it's a triangle, you have 4 columns. If it's a four-sided figure, you will have 5 columns. I don't think they will set more than 4-sided. So coming down will be positive, 3 times 5, 4 times 2, that will be positive. Going the southwest direction will all be negative. And remember, negative will give you positive. You can check that out. You can check that out. And sure enough, as I said, you get a positive number. So because you took anti-clockwise, hence your answer is 21 unit square. I think it's good to put unit square, especially for SPM. For IG, it is okay. You just put 21 will do. But never put cm square, okay? Third part. I want to revise something that's very important, which is called the ratio theorem. So let's look at this first. If you have a point T dividing a line such that it is in the ratio m is to n, then what you do is you cross like this, okay? So the x coordinate of T will become n times of x1 plus m times of x2 divided by m plus n. Y coordinate, the same thing, n y1 plus m y2 over n plus m, and this is called the ratio formula, which I would like to share with you because later those who take maths, this ratio theorem is very useful for vectors. So let's say T is the let's say O is the origin, all right? O is the origin, so we might as well not waste this thing. That means you can write m plus n times OT, vector OT, equals to m times of or n times of vector OA plus m times of vector OB. Now this is a very useful formula which we will use in vectors, when we come to it. Right. Also note that if m is equal to n, this just becomes the midpoint formula. Okay? So with that, we can check for yourself that you can locate the coordinates of point T.